This is Leon C, aka Morpheus. In this audio/video is for a little manly education for, of course, men. And it is for you women to chime in and to listen, to give you some breadcrumbs about what other women are doing, so you can understand the road and the path that we are going to here in America. It will enlighten you. So just because it's for men, that does not mean that you're not going to get anything out of it. I advise you to listen. I went out of town for about a week to visit a friend of mine. This friend of mine gets more tail than the public toilet seat. And he frequents with these women on a constant basis. He tells me about them every now and then and gloats about the women that he is able to pull out of the ocean of the America's water. And it took some time for me to present this to you because it takes time for me to gather the information so I do not deceive you and so I do not tell you a lie. So I watched this pattern for quite some time, him and his so-called bravado and mojo. Very interested, okay? To the point where I began to take notes. And of course, me being alpha red pill, I know about what's going on, but I will share that with you in just a moment here. However, we ran into a discussion when I visited him, and he began to tell me and ask me pretty much. First of all, he began to tell me that there are so many available women, as if I didn't know that. I know why they're available is because they can't find a good man. And they're not truly available because there's no such thing as a single woman. Get that through your mind, men. Even if they tell you that they're single, they're not single. They are donkey dunking with their ex-boyfriends. They have their late night calls. There's a blue pill beta somewhere behind the curtains that you don't know about. When she says she's single, she's actually saying that she just don't have a person that she gave the legitimate title of boyfriend to, who she's willing to put on her Facebook page and to claim as her number one boo. But in between, she has several boos, but they just don't have a title. They are just people who they consider to be friends with benefits. Okay? So definitely when she say, oh, I just have friends, I don't have a boyfriend, the friends are the boyfriends. It don't matter whether it may be, there's a few girls who are not doing it. Most of them do it. So it's better to be safe and sorry. It's better to be safe than sorry to say that they all are doing that. So you can avoid yourself of the trouble and getting your heart broken, should you apply your heart. Anyhow, he also began to tell me that maybe I should go online. Maybe I should put myself on the dating market. Maybe I should, etc., etc., etc. And I told him with a straight blank face, as I've probably have told to you as well, that I'm not interested and I'm not going to waste my time. And in return, I always ask a question with a remark usually, and I asked why, which is the big question. Why should I? He couldn't even answer that. I asked why because there is not much that us men are getting today here in this new revamped America. It's not revamped to the way it used to be. It's revamped to what used to be isn't the way it used to be, but it's been rehashed to a different face, to a different reality. Okay? In my expression that I have portrayed to him. Okay, I made it completely clear that I was exhausted, tired, and not interested in putting more energy than necessary into an otherwise balanced and fair relationship. Whereas we both, as man and woman, have the initiative and responsibility to make it known what we need out of the relationship of each other. So if I can chase her, she can chase me. If I can open up the doors and make the invitations, she can do the same thing. If I can create a come online because she's so-called independent and I'm a strong woman, I can do it all by myself, then that means she has the initiatives as well and can have it should she desire. Okay, I believe in an equal playing field now. Now it's no, I'm not taking you out to eat. Now you can take me out to eat. I don't have to travel from this state to the next state to see you. Okay, now you can do the same thing now. Now here in the so-called equality of the mindset of the average American woman, she have taken the role of us men. So therefore, we as men should not need to feel as if we need to do the things that we used to do back in 1920, because this isn't 1920. This is the new age way of thinking where women consider themselves to be as great as we are. What I mean is as capable as we are. So therefore, they need to take up that responsibility as well. Any man who don't understand that and still think that they need to have this red carpet, I'm gonna open up the door and give you flowers on Valentine's Day mentality, okay, is the average blue pill beta who will eventually find himself in the court system. Okay. When she can't have her way, when he stops giving her flowers and when he stops opening up the doors, that's the door that's going to be open for him, which would be the court doors. Okay, because she would definitely spring the child support and the alimony and et cetera, and she's not going to want to be with him any longer. You say, why is Morpheus saying this? And I'm only going to expand on it just a little bit because it's already in my audio, and most of you know this as well, because a lot of the American women are children who have grown up because they're used to having their way. Once you tell a child no, they end up having a temper tantrum, and they will find ways to either get back at you, destroy your world, have her emotional fits, run around in circles like the Three Stooges because you said no. All because you continue to spoil the child. All right. However, getting back to the message, I decided to tell him in simple terms that I'm just plain not interested because I knew he didn't understand. How do I know he didn't understand? I'm getting ready to share this with you, men and women. The typical guy you think who gets more butt than the toilet seat. Okay? It is a difficult life to live. What this man has to do is abide by the woman's every beck and call, even at the expense of his own safety and his finances. As being this guy's friend, okay, and trying to coach him and help him and to open up his eyes, I have followed his pattern where he tells me he travels out of town to meet these girls, and he ends up with a flat tire on the way there, running out of gas, and just all sorts of unnecessary things. She'll run him ragged. She will spend his entire day off doing what she wants him to do, all because he's waiting for that hour and a half to donkey dunk with her and go on about his way. This is the type of gentleman who will answer every call 24 hours, 7 days a week from these women who demand for him to either take her to the grocery store, okay, to pick up something for her. Most of these girls do not have an automobile of their own. They barely even have a job. A couple of them have warrants for their arrest. Okay. These girls that he's been fishing from in the ocean that he claims to have such access to, and him being such a fortunate man. the story changes. You see, the color of it is different. This is why I tell you on a constant basis, do not go by the information. You cannot do that. This is why I teach you. You do not go about what a person say. You go about what they do. Okay? When you follow these people or your friends or whoever that they are, and you begin to see that they are not living up to what they talk about, or even if they are living up to what they talk about, it's not what you thought it was. I've always been skeptical because being a red pill alpha man and knowing about feminism, knowing about MGTOW, knowing about how marriage is the beginning of the end of a man's life and freedom. Okay, knowing how these women behave, knowing that they have stepped out of their proper stilettos into your combat boots. Okay, that is not wise for you to try to what do you call that, peer bond. Even if you could, that's like the end result. Peer bonding is when everything works out. You can't even peer bond with them because you can't even cooperate as man and woman anymore. Okay, because we don't even know what man and woman is. Okay, so having all this knowledge and understanding of the situation, okay, when he began to tell me that he has such an easy access to women, I immediately became skeptical. Not that I was thinking of myself as less attractive, or that I could not compete, or that my performance isn't as great as his. Okay, it was none of that was in my mind. It don't need to be. I need not to prove myself, nor to gloat on myself, and nor would I sit here and ever tell you about my prowess. I don't need to do that. Okay, the action will speak for itself. My words are irrelevant in this notion. So I began to dive into the ether of information of what he was saying by spending time with him for a little while and understanding him through his eyes and through his reality. And what I have seen was a man who is literally wasting his time. When you hear about men saying that they are getting it like it's hot pancakes in the morning, okay, they have to sacrifice their time in their life. They had to sacrifice too much. They got to waste too much of their time when they can be in the library studying something. They can be making something out of their hobbies. You know, they can be working on their classic cars. You know, they can be driving their Harley Davidson to New York City and back with a group of like-minded men. You know, they can be in a pizza parlor talking with people who got good sense to try to create something out of their situations. Okay, to build a financial infrastructure, to come up with a business plan on Monday morning. But instead of him doing this, he's willing to transform into putty and mud for these women who practically runs him ragged. And usually when this happened, my American people, he calls me. He'll call me and tell me, well, you know, I caught a flat going over here, and man, I spent like 3 hours, at the grocery store because this girl wanted to get some coats and she won't do this, and I got other things, man. And they say, so man, I wanted to go home and do some things in my house, but I couldn't because, old girl called me up and wanted me to take her over here to her mom's house. And trust me, my American people, when I hear this, it's laughable. It's laughable. And yes, I tell him this is no secret to him. And to him, it will not come to a surprise because I've told him several times that he's wasting his time and he's doing an idiot blue pill beta simpish focus point of his life, which is going to end him eventually. Okay, but yet he still do not want to listen. He still wastes his time and his energy with these women, okay, who have nothing in mind but to use him. He don't understand that it's an exchange. The women that he deal with, they feel as if they donkey dunk with him. He owes them something. He owes them his time, his energy, his services. And in his monkey mind, He think that he's obligated to them when they call him up and ask him for a ride somewhere, or help to do something, or to move furniture, or to go pick up her mother's car. Because most of them, they don't have much to their name. Most of them don't have anything going on with themselves. The girls who do have something going on with themselves, okay, they are actually with a boyfriend while they are with him at the same time. No, I do not tolerate it. No, I do not accept it. And I don't know these girls. Otherwise, as Morpheus, I would say something. Okay, so I don't do what you women do and keep secrets that my friend is doing this behind the other girl's boyfriend's back. No, I'm the type of person that is slash and dash and be done with it. I am not concerned about feelings at this moment, and nor have I ever been. Because what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, whether you like it or not. Because I wouldn't want that done to me, and I practice what I preach. So therefore, I would bring awareness to the situation and say something like, about this. Okay, so I have explained this to him several times. I told him that, first of all, this is not what he should be doing because it's going to end him. Okay, it's going to be a bad ending to the bad story. Okay, because he's starting off wrong and he's going to end it wrong. And secondly, I told him I don't tolerate it because that's not the type of life I live. I'm not interested in being like him. He's no role model. Okay, I am comfortable being without wasting my time. Okay, it is a zero tolerance policy that I have built up for myself as an individual, knowing my standards, that it either is or it isn't. I'm not wasting more than 3 hours, 2 hours, or an hour on nonsense. Most women that I meet and have conversations with, they know it's either 1 or it's 10. 10 being the max, 1 being that there's nothing going to be there. I'm not going to waste my time. So it's either, you know what I'm here for, you know what time it is. We're not playing any games. No, I'm not taking you out to a certain place. No, we ain't lollygagging around because most of all, I hate to say it, they ain't worth it anyway. They don't even get to that point. Okay, if ever. Because of the lackadaisical, dilapidated, receded qualities and principles that we have in relationships, I have very low expectations, and I expect for them to fail because they do 9 times out of 10. Okay, so it's always going to be at a zero plane. That means when I meet them, okay, it's like, okay, it's either this, what's up, or I'm out of here. Don't waste my time. Okay. All that dating and, we're going to go out to eat. Let's go to the coffee shop and talk for like 5 or 6 hours. We're going to go somewhere this weekend. Are you going to take my, wait, slow down. Those are things that you, lady, have to earn. I'm not just going to give it to you when I first meet you. This is how I am as Leon C. Morpheus. Okay. Since I have escaped the matrix and I understand what it is and I can visualize it from afar, like looking at the map, okay, from top view or satellite, I can see it all. Okay, there is zero tolerance, and there is no need to have tolerance once you gain such experience and knowledge such as I have. Okay, so when it comes to the earning game, you got to earn spending that type of time, sitting down with a good an hour-long conversation about something. You got to be talking about something that really makes sense. It can't be emotional. It got to be about facts, and it has to be raw, and it has to be straightforward. Either it's this or it's nothing at all. Okay, zero tolerance. Okay, what's this relationship going to be? What do you want out of meeting me, Morpheus? Do you want this to be stable for the rest of your life, or you just want to play games? Okay, or do you want to hold on to the feminist ideology and try to be with me? Not going to work. You want to be strong and independent? You can do that all by yourself. I am in the lead. I'm alpha. I'm red pill. I'm the lion in the field. There's going to be one of me. That's it. You don't like it? Okay, go to a different jungle because this one over here is mine. Anything else comes and go from here, I'm going to know about it, or I'm going to devour it because I'm a lion. Okay, and that has a lot to do with what? Facebook, selfie. I'm going to give myself 100% to my jobs and corporation. I'm going to work 11 hours a day. When I come home, I'm only going to give you an hour of my time. That type of thing. Or yeah, I can walk out the house dressing any way I want to because it's my body. It's my choice. It's my body. I'll go, okay, you can do that. I have no problem with you doing that, but you're not going to do it with me. Okay, not over here in my building. Okay, in my field or on my property, you don't do that. Okay, so the question in point is this. I never needed to waste my time, and I never did waste my time, nor my energy, nor longer than at least 35 minutes. If she manages 35 minutes, that means she talked about something that made sense. So because of this, listen up. I have been very successful. I haven't needed to travel out of town uselessly. Waste gas, waste energy, waste my entire day, not building up an infrastructure for myself, not studying anything, not making these audios for you. I've been able to make these audios because I've avoided the nonsense. I've been able to travel back and forth to different places where I want to go. I'm free to go wherever I want to go, teach whoever I want to teach. I'm around family. I'm around wonderful, cute children. Okay, I'm around smart teenagers who are growing. I'm around Christians. I'm around engineers. I'm around nurses. I'm around doctors. I'm around people because I'm not tied down to someone who wants to take all my time and my energy. Do you understand? Because I kept it at zero tolerance. My time to me is valuable. My time is worth more than money. So if I am spending my time with this girl, this is something that she has to earn. It's not going to be given up front. Just the same as when you trust somebody. I trust an individual and a person to give them a certain length to see what they will do with it. And if she applies herself properly, where it's found out that I'm not wasting my time, there's a benefit to this. I am succeeding in spending time with this girl. Then I might extend that time a little further. And then when I realize it's a worthwhile endeavor and investment where I am actually receiving as I am giving, then that's when we having coffee dates. This is when we're going out. This is when I don't mind. I would listen. I am telling you right now. If I can tell you to your face, I would. I'm telling you right now. This is when I would not mind spending a Friday or Saturday walking with her to wherever that we're going, because I know that there's going to be some benefit to this. I know it's going to be worthwhile in the future. She has proven herself to be stable and sensible. But that point requires her proving herself through our initial contact, through the beginning contact, through the first few weeks or maybe even first few months of conversating. Okay, because here in America, because of our lifestyle, because we are so lackadaisical, because we are not virtuous anymore, we're not honorable to truth nor right to information. Okay, couples don't make it that far. They don't make it that far. I will begin to see devastating signs of damage in the first few weeks, if not the first time I meet her. Okay. Even more so when they start SHIT testing, okay, with their common scheme that the average woman will do to see what type of man I am. That's one thing that will really get them out of the door faster than anything else. I've actually had that happen one time. I had that happen when one woman was talking about, you know, what do you do for a living, and where do you go, and you have this and that. And my response is when anybody ever asks me, especially a woman, that's one of the biggest things. Men, listen. When a woman asks you, what do you do for a living? Okay, look at her with a blank face and put down your towel or wherever you are, walk away, say, okay, this is the end of it. Because it don't matter. Okay, you don't give them the fodder to, you say, well, you want her to get to know you. That's later on. Your financial business is your business. What you do for a living is your business. Obviously, you're not a criminal. Obviously, you didn't escape from the prison. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting there. At least, hopefully not. Okay. Obviously, you're well taken care of. Obviously, you are taking care of yourself in some measure, in some form. It don't matter what you're doing for a living. That's what she needs to know later on. If you begin to tell her what you do for a living, then she'll begin to calculate your worth. Let me say that again. When you tell her what you do for your financial benefits and to support your house and your home, then she will begin to evaluate how much you are worth. Do not let her know how much you're worth. Tell her you don't got a job. Don't say that. Tell her you live with your mom. Okay. Anything. Don't say that, but just anything. But letting her know everything and all that is about you, because she will manipulate that. She will use that as her own calculation of mathematical equations. Okay. Then she'll come up with how she's going to treat you or bring you into her life. Okay, I know that. I've did my test. I've lied a few times just for fun, just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. I told a person I was a millionaire one time just to see what they do. Okay, their personality, it will switch on you. I told a person one time I worked at a fast food place making $7 to $8 an hour, and I'm struggling, but I'm surviving. You will be surprised how different the personality is. The girl will treat you differently, men. They will treat you differently based on what you do for a living. They will. Their face expressions will slack, or they'll be more interested. Listen, when I told this girl I was a millionaire and that I just need somebody to share some of that money with me, in psychology, when a person leans into you, meaning when they're sitting across from you and they get close to your face, they lean in. That means they're interested. That means, okay, I like this. Okay, I'm into what we're talking about. I'm into this. Okay, she was leaning back in the chair, like lackadaisical, not so interested. Like, oh, okay, whatever. When I said I'm a millionaire, she leaned in. She straightened her dress up. She started patting her hair, and she leaned in and she put her elbows, both elbows, on the table and got close to my face. Like, okay, continue. The girl I said I was that working at a fast food, only $7 to $8 an hour. Okay. She was looking at her smartwatch. She was looking in her purse. She was looking everywhere besides me. Okay, she was leaning far away in the seat as far as possible because she wanted to flight out of there. To her, it's like, oh my God. Like, oh, what did I get myself into? I can't do this. Nah, you're making less than me. Nah, I can't handle that. Okay. Now, I know what some of you men are thinking, maybe women, oh, that's natural. You got to have a man who's making decent enough money, at least, so you can have kids, so you can have a good family, so you can be able to take her out to eat, you can be able to protect her, blah, blah, blah. Listen, men, Morpheus clears out the BS. He filters it. Understand that. My red pill, okay, isn't something that you just take from the counter and it's just not going to, you're going to need more later, but it's just going to, it's not going to take care of the root of the problem. It's just going to take care of the symptoms. My red pills take care of the root of the problem, while it's destroying the symptoms as well and healing you. Okay. What I mean is this. They will tell you that. You will hear somebody say, well, you want your man to make enough money, and yeah, he's going to have to do something for the house and have enough money to take care of himself, yada, 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 yada. No. In between, listen. That's an excuse that they use, okay, still to do their evaluation on how they will label you on their priority list. Because it don't matter whether you are making good enough money and whether you are not making good enough money, they will still find an excuse not to be honorable, not to be loyal, to hypergamy, and to find themselves saying, oh, I don't need a man. Leave me alone. I'm bored after a couple of years, even if you're making good enough money to keep them interested. Okay, so that's a lie. Okay, all that, well, I just want to find a man who's stable. No, you don't. That's not the case. Okay, that's an excuse by the very few of them, okay, who's trying to convince themselves as to why they want to get in a relationship with this man, because it's not about what you make per hour. It's not about you and your financial infrastructure. When you're in a relationship, it's about you being with that person, period. It's about ride or die next to this individual because you love their personality and you love their energy. And a lot of women, they just don't know how to love, but they know how to love your money. Okay, clear out the BS. Stop the noise right now. It's been known as a majority of the factor. So because it is 80 out of 100%, I'm going to take the 80 and I'm going to run with it, because I am not going to gamble my time and my energy with nonsense. Okay. So getting on to the story. So I did my testing and all that kind of stuff, and it turned out that way. So I learned a lot because of it. Okay. So anyway, because I came up to build with my zero tolerance, I have been very, very successful. I have been well off without the nonsense, not needing to go to these dumb places during the weekend and garden shopping and, going out to the malls just to look silly and hold hands. Okay. And do you know how many people have done that since the first generation? Do you know how many couples even today do the same thing? Oh, we're going to go to the mall, Mom. If they live with their mom as teenagers, it's 17, 18. You got this boy who's 19 and she's probably 17 or 18. And they go out to the mall, something like that, holding hands and thinking, oh, yeah, we're going to build a foundation for the future. Oh, we're so beautiful. Oh, they're so wonderful. Make sure you bring her back at a certain time, son. You, girl, you take care of yourself. Treat him with honor, virtue. Actually, got some good sense. You spend all that time, year after year after year, okay, and it doesn't change as you get older. Even 32, 29-year-olds, 40-year-olds do that with their so-called 30 or 20-year-old girl, depending on their preference. Do the same thing, go out dating, go out to the mall, go out to the movies when the movies was open, okay? Yeah, we're going to go, even the shooting range, if you go places like that, still that's the new dating scene. Let's go horseback riding, just something. Let's go fishing or something of that nature. And still, you have a high divorce rate. Still, we can't get along with each other. Still, relationships don't last longer than 5 years. Still, women's too hypergamy, and still you got feminism. Still, you got, I am strong and independent. I got more degrees than the temperature. I can do it all. And still men have troubles finding decent, virtuous women. Okay, so all that didn't mean anything because you gave her flowers on birthday, just because you took her somewhere special on Galentine's Day. Okay, just because you promised her a wedding and you got this engagement ring that costs more than your car. Okay, don't mean anything. Because we are still dealing with a high rate of divorce. We're still dealing with fractured relationships and hypergamy and polygamous relationships under the guise of darkness. So all that is irrelevant, because the point of the matter, you say, okay, Morpheus, what are you trying to say? The point of the matter is this: zero tolerance is making sure that this person is right for you or wrong for you immediately, so you don't waste your time. Okay, now I'm not telling you to pull out a book and a piece of paper and tell her, read the list, because she'll really leave then. She won't even stay for you to read the first sentence. Okay, you will simply state through easy conversation. It don't have to be harsh and rash. Hey, this is what I expect. If it's not, I don't care. I deal with a whole lot of, nonsense. I don't like wasting my time. So what is it going to be? What do you feel? Let's go down this path. Let's make it happen. Simple as that. Now, here's the kicker about it. This is how you're able to filter out who's real and who isn't real. If you ever, men, and probably even you women, if you do that yourself, when you are having this discussion as to what is it going to be, like what's it going to be? What is your game plan, us being in a relationship? Okay, if men, you ever encounter any resistance, like she's trying to play it off, or she's thinking that you are trying to control the beginning portion of the relationship, or you are bitter, or you're coming off too harsh, or she makes an attitude out of the situation, or she feels as if she don't need to comply to any of your requests or what you are asking her about the situation, or if she can't answer the situation as well, she can't answer your requests in earnest and with honest understanding, that'll let you know right there that you're wasting your time. Then you do not have to keep associating with these women. You don't have to keep wasting your time. Don't waste your time. Okay, that'll let you know right there that she is going to be a problem should you try to make the relationship a lot more serious. Now, I'm going to get off of me and my standards and what I do. Okay, and you'll ask me a question, have that been working for you, Morpheus? I'm going to end it with this. It has been working, very successful. I'm just not interested in applying any energy and time at this moment because it's a waste of time right now. The things that I have learned, okay, I'll be better off dealing with what I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Okay, that energy must be met. And I'm going to say it as a wise man would say, why should I have to ask? Listen, when it comes to having a quality, virtuous woman, why should I, Morpheus, have to ask for it? When it comes to being interested in somebody, why should I have to initiate it? Why should I have to ask? It should be normal, like breathing air. If it's not natural, if it's not working out toe to toe, if there's no energy that's actually given back as it should, I'm not going to waste my time. But it has been working successful with various women who it's hard to shake off. They can't be shaken off because it makes them even more aggressive and interested because they see the quality. Okay, they see a difference and they see that there's worthwhile endeavor over here. Okay, it works successful because it's zero tolerance. Some women like men who don't play around, men who know their measure. Some women love it when men are confident, when men don't tolerate nonsense. When you straighten her out, okay, she knows that you have substance. She will respect you even more, and she will begin to understand that you have the potential to guide the marriage or the relationship or the energy in the right location, in the right direction, when you don't tolerate anything and everything. When you are willing to say no, when you are willing to call her out on her BS, when you are willing to straighten out the crooked paths, okay, she will understand you a lot more. And it's a better path for you to go than to just simply be a simp and go along with anything. And because she say jump, you will ask her in return, hi, how high, madam? How high, my fair lady? How high, boo-boo? How high, baby? How high, wifey? How high do you want me to jump? Well, I want you to jump as high as it's going to hurt you. Okay, I'll jump that high. I'll give everything away just to get some of you. Okay. And eventually she will bite your head off and send you running. Okay. But here's the thing. This man did not apply any of this. This dude was the complete opposite. Okay. The point of the matter is this guy, and most men who say that they get more tail than the toilet, they don't care about the qualities that I have discussed. They don't care about saying what is it going to be, because all they want to do is have a good time. They're not interested in seeing the quality of women. They accept the woman just the way that she is, which makes it harder for men to find women of quality and of virtue. It makes it harder for men to find a good wife. It makes it harder for men to find women who is capable of peer bonding, because they've wasted the majority of their time with worthless men who all they wanted to do was have good, fun donkey. Okay, these men, like my friend that I visited, okay, in the Discovery, okay, he just loves wasting his time because he feels as the game is worth getting that toilet seat, okay, than it is for him to stay on the straight and narrow and not waste his time, because he won't get anything. Men who stand up on their principles and their values, either they'll get more or they will get less. They will get more because they end up respected, and everything will be on zero tolerance. The girl knows what time it is. As soon as you knock on the door, okay, she know what time it is. She know what you want. Okay, she know what you're getting ready to do, because you already laid down the law. You already spoken. You say, okay, this is what I'm about. If you don't like it, I'm out. You know, I didn't sign up for that. I won't sign up for this, whatever it might be. Okay, so it's at zero tolerance. Yes, you still challenge you. Of course, she'll still have her demands and her ways, of course. Okay, but it works out easier, or it's going to be zero, because there are plenty of girls, especially here in America, women, excuse me. There are plenty of them, okay, who are not only thinking the same way, they have their own standards and principles, where they feel like if you have principles, men, that your principles will collide with hers. And you will find out often that you will find out often that your principles and your standards do not line up with hers. So you will sit down somewhere at a park or a Starbucks, if it's still open, or whatever place that you meet this girl at. OK, and you begin to say what you expect and don't expect. And of course, in a gentle way and with clever words and with charm. OK, she will not comply because she has her own form of standards and expectations because of the way that America is constructed now, where years ago, men always and should have always had a proper and fair perspective. OK, but men have jumped off the square and have dived right into the water. OK, without a boat. So therefore, she's left to her own decision making and devices that are usually going to be based on her own emotions and energy. OK, so she's not going to listen to what you have to say after a certain amount of time of her being out on her own and not needing you. So therefore, she's going to tell you what she expects. OK, and eventually you're going to have to end up lining to her principles and standards